Have you ever wondered how much it would cost to hire a freelancer for one of your projects? Whether it is to save some time, get some expert knowledge, or simply get things out of the way? In this video, I'll show you my tips when hiring someone from Upwork or any other freelancer platform. What's up guys, my name is Greg. I'm an iOS developer and photographer here in Sydney, and in this video I'm going to show you my tips when hiring a freelancer for one of your side projects. When most people think of outsourcing, they associate it with an offshore company on the other side of the world. This can sound intimidating, time-consuming, and expensive. This doesn't always have to be this way. Depending on the type of job that you want to outsource, you can find a better way that's suited for your job. So, you have a new idea and you want to outsource the development of a simple timer app for fasting. And you search for freelance app development on Google. You will find a lot of results, agencies, freelancers, courses, etc. When you search for this, you will find a lot of results. There are agencies, there are freelancers, there are freelancer platforms, there are courses teaching you how to code, and this can be a bit overwhelming. So this leads me to my first tip in this part of the process, which is knowing what you want.
What do you want?
What do you want for this job? What do you want specifically for this job? If you don't know what you want, you're going to struggle to find the right people for the job. Do you want a new app design, a logo, help with marketing, SEO, social media content? The more specific, the better. Depending on what you want, there might be better platforms suited for the type of job that you want to hire for. For example, if you want to hire a designer for your website, for your social media content, I will go to places like 99 Designs or Fiverr, or even some of the design sharing platforms like Behance or Dribbble, where you can message the designer directly. If you want more technical work, you might go to Upwork or Freelancer. I think there is more technical skills in this type of platforms. I'm sure any of these freelancing platforms will have categories for you to find people in any particular job or skill that you want. However, not all good freelancers will be in all platforms, so it's better to know what to look for. So, tip number 2, what's your budget? How much do you want to spend on this? This might affect the quality of the freelancer that you end up hiring. You might find someone that is very experienced and that can get the job done quickly, also for a very good quality. If you have a large budget, you might be able to afford someone very experienced that's an expert. If you have a small budget, it goes without saying, you probably will end up hiring someone less experienced, but you're happy to go with that since you're paying less for that job. So when writing your job proposal for any of these platforms, these are the things to keep in mind. Know exactly the type of job that you want to get done. The more specific, the better. Have an idea of how long do you want this job to take. Know your time frame. And finally, know how much are you willing to spend on this project. If you put all of this into the job description, you're going to get very specific offers, which will make your life a lot easier. And you will be able to filter out the bad ones. So when hiring freelancers in the past, I got job quotes that would range from 6 to 8 weeks, when in reality, they should have taken 1 to 2 weeks. So if you know exactly what you want, the time frame and the budget that you're working with, you will be able to easily filter out all of these proposals and be left with only the good ones. Some of the benefits of hiring a freelancer to outsource some kind of work are very clear, but the impact they have on your life when you get some time back are great. Some common examples of the things that you can outsource from a technical perspective are very easy to spot. Things like app development, web development, design. These are all very common examples of things that people usually outsource. But these days, you can outsource pretty much anything to make your life easier. These are some of the categories that you can find when going to some of these freelancer platforms to outsource some of your work. You have things like accounting, photo and video editing, virtual assistants, writing, translation. The list goes on and on. These are examples of things that I've outsourced to freelancers in the past. 1. A cloud function for a translation service for one of my applications using Amazon Web Services. This is something that I could have done myself, but it would have taken me days to figure out because this function needed to be in Python and I'm not experienced with Python, and I didn't want to spend many days trying to figure it out. So I hired a freelancer on Upwork. He was charging $50 an hour and he took 6 hours to complete this job. So in total, $300 for something that could have taken me many days to work out. I think this is definitely worth it. Another example, I hired an agency to develop the onboarding flow for one of my applications. I had already developed the designs myself, but I didn't want to go through the process of coding this myself because, one, it would have been very time consuming and it is a very complex onboarding flow. There's a lot of things involved. For example, there is user login and sign up with your regular email and password flow. But also there is phone verification, there is Instagram verification, which includes a cloud function as well. There is a category selection of the type of user they are, and there is a pending screen. So all of this would have taken me at least a month to do it properly with my experience, plus working full-time. So this is something that I didn't really want to do. So I ended up hiring an agency through Upwork, and for a fixed price of $1,500, they did this within the space of 1 week and a half, I think. And yes, this saved me a lot of time and a lot of headaches of trying to do all of this myself. Again, I had the knowledge to do this myself, but it would have taken me a long time, and it's something that I could have, just delegate to someone else to do, and I think for that price, I think is worth it. Another thing that I outsource is a lottie animation for one of my apps. So this is an animation that shows to the user on the first screen, and it greatly enhances the user experience and design. It makes it look very polished, and this is something that I had to look someone to do because I'm not an expert in animations. So I couldn't have done this myself. Probably would have taken a long time and probably wouldn't be to the quality that I expected. So I hired someone on Upwork that was done in 2 hours and it cost $60. So the point that I want to make is that you can have someone else do some of the things that you already do, but you might find that you don't get as much value if you do them yourself because they can be time consuming. You might not have the experience and simply you just want to get things out of the way. This way you can get some time back to yourself and focus on the bigger things that you're trying to do, which in my case would be my different side projects, my applications, and more. That's the end of the video. I hope you got some value out of it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.